Let me ask you something. And this question, it might seem a bit personal, I know, but it might just be the most important question in the world right now. Do you think this looks good? Do you think perhaps that this is a good design? I'll give you around 5 to 10 seconds. Not only will that give you the time to think through the answer carefully, it will also increase my watch time on this video without putting in any effort. So it's a win-win situation. Now, think about your answer. If you answered no, then congratulations, you have a brain. And if you answered yes, then you're probably 12 years old. But you know, in the world of design, it's not just that you need to say that you don't like something. You should be able to explain why something does not look good. And the reason why this does not look good is that it's over-designed. As simple as that. Now, what exactly does over-design mean? The simplest definition would be to design in a manner that's excessively complex or that exceeds the usual standards. I'm gonna focus on design that's excessively complex because not only it serves no purpose, it can also ruin a concept that could otherwise be really good. And most importantly, it shows the designer's insecurity. It shows the fear, simplicity, and the lack of trust in one's own creation. Because if you trust your ability, if you trust your core design, you don't need to cover it in decoration. And of course there is more to this than just insecurity. For example, the fact that the designers of characters in, for example, video games or movies are not always the creators of the character. So while a creator of a character fundamentally understands the character and what the character stands for and what would thematically fit with the character. An example for this that I always like to use is Spider-Man. Everyone likes Spider-Man, right? The character has been around since 1962 and is still going big, which is crazy. Originally co-created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, obviously the character has been passed around to many different designers. And it's not just comic books either, it's movies, video games, cartoons, animes, mangas, porn parodies, whatever media you can think of, Spider-Man has probably been in it. But let's take a look at his original appearance and what made it so special. Now immediately we have a bit of a problem here. Nothing with the design itself, it's perfect. The problem is just determining if the suit is red and blue or red and black. Argument can be made for both, as you could say that this portion of the suit is black and the blue is just shading like it's used for the black suit. Or you could say that it's blue because that's what Spider-Man's color scheme usually is, it's red and blue. I tried to look for sources to figure out what the color actually is, but I couldn't find anything reliable. But for the sake of the argument, I'm gonna go with red and blue, just cause that's what it usually is. And I mean really, what can be said about this suit other than it's iconic? It has been iconic for over 60 years. And the thing is, it's not even overly simplistic. It's simple enough for it to have meaningful details. Like for example, the lines on the red parts of the suit, which is obviously supposed to be spider webbing. So not only is that thematic, the black lines also sort of help to neutralize the brightness of the red, and it gives the suit more texture. It's simple and effective, and it represents who Peter Parker and Spider-Man is. And I'm not going to waste your time by edging to every great Spider-Man suit that Spider-Man has had over the years. I'm just going to move to some that were ruined by over-design. And for that we have to look no further than at Insomniac Spider-Man's one particular suit. And you know which one I'm talking about. It's of course the advanced suit. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it, this suit is kinda ugly and I'm tired of pretending that it's not. I swear, I think we, as human species, as a human race, we were gaslit into thinking that this suit is good. The white portions of the suit are so useless and ugly, and I guess it is supposed to represent which portions of the suit are reinforced, but there's just really no reason to make it white. It contrasts with the suit too much, especially on his boots. Like, imagine if he steps into shit or mud or something. And overall the leg design is just not very good. Not only is there the white, there's also the red, both of which feel very randomly placed. Honestly, the whole leg design feels like they put so much time into designing the top that they sort of left the legs whole blue and then just put those parts there for them to be not entirely blue. I mean, the red portions don't even have lines. To me, that just sort of breaks the whole idea of a Spider-Man suit. And that is not even the worst part. Look at the belt. Why is it disconnected right here? It breaks the entire flow of the suit. And again, underneath the belt on the sides, random ass red portions. It's like, damn, the legs are too blue. We need to put some red there. Then we yet again have the arms. Again, random white portions. And on top of that, what the fuck is this? Why is the red just randomly separated by the blue line? Yet again, breaks the flow of the suit. And it's the same on the shoulders. But there at least, the blue line sort of separates the spider from the rest of the suit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still bad, but at least it serves a purpose. Which brings me to the worst part of the suit. The big white spider. Actually, both of them. The color, the shape, the size of it, everything is just wrong with it. Its legs break into the blue portion, which sort of beats the idea of the shoulder separating lines. I mean, the spider seems to have no problem breaking into the blue parts, so why is that blue line stopping him from breaking into the rest of the suit? Then the color, obviously it's white. And if the purpose is to blind his enemies with the reflecting light, then congratulations, I guess the spider is doing its job, because it is certainly blinding me. And then the size, it's too big. You never do a big spider on a suit like this. You know which Spider-Man suits look good with a big spider? The black suit. And that is because the design of that suit is largely simple. It's literally just a black suit with the eyes and the spider, so the spider gets to be big. And it is one of the greatest suits Spider-Man has ever had. And look at how simple it is. And look at the Scarlet Spider suits, both of them. Each one has a big ass spider on his chest. But again, both are very simple in other aspects. The one with the blue hoodie doesn't even have lines on the red portions. It is quite literally just a tight red suit with a hoodie on top. Yes, he got the belt and the wraps around his ankles and the big web shooters. Again, because of the lack of the other details on the suit. It does not feel busy, and on top of that it's practical. And his other suit, while definitely busier, is also rather simple. Spiders on both the front and the back are connected with its legs similarly to the black suit. You could say the lower portions of his legs also have quote-unquote random red sections. But if you said that, you're stupid, because it's not random, it's more thematic. Half of his lower legs are blue while the other half is red. There are many more examples of a good use of the big spider logo, but I think you get the point. The big spider logo is good when the suit is not already busy with its other details. Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 largely improved the original suit. The belt section is fixed. There are no random ass lines on the arms, and the spider on the front does not interrupt the blue portions. I mean, don't get me wrong, the suit is still not great, it's just slightly better. And it is not just the main suit in this game, it's the other suits as well. I mean, I'm gonna ask you, how many suits have you used when you played the game? I'd bet it was like 5, because in total there are only like 5 good suits. And on top of that, for Spider-Man 2 they seem to get rid of so many good suits from the first game in favor of suits that are simply trash. I mean, why would you include this over the big time suit, for example? Does anyone use this suit in the game? I don't think so. I think the red and black variants look a lot better. And you might say, well, the design is the same, it's just a different color. And you're right, but the color scheme is also a part of design and one of the defining factors if a character is over-designed or not. And the suit is black instead of blue. It is sort of more neutral. Red and blue is already a pretty brave combination. It can go wrong on so many levels. And it does with the white spider. But if it's red and black, it's just nicer to look at because it's less bright and more defined. Even the white spider does not stand out as much. Because look at, for example, the Far From Home suit. This one also has a white spider logo, but it feels a lot less invasive because it's only situated on the black portion of the suit. It does not clash with the red, and the shape is also simpler and more tactical, which is sort of what the suit was going for, which is another problem of the Insomniac suit. While that Spider-Man is also more tactical and has a lot of like gadgets gadgets and everything. Both spider logos on the front and the back does not convey that message. Because of their size and shape, they come off as more invasive, wilder and unhinged, which is something that worked for Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Because they were a bit more classic, they didn't really use any gadgets. Am I making sense here, or am I being too schizophrenic? And while there are many more examples of bad over-designed Spider-Man suits, he is not the only victim of this. Look at, for example, Claudio from Tekken. I wouldn't even know where to begin with describing how bad this is. It's not like he's an exception. Look at like any modern Tekken character and compare them to their older counterparts. Look at my boy Hwoarang from Tekken 3. It was his first appearance in Tekken. And granted, Hwoarang is not even that bad of an example of overdesign in modern Tekken games. There are definitely worse characters than that. And granted, I haven't really kept up with Tekken for quite some time, but this is part of the reason why. It strips the character of their personality in the name of flashiness. And again, this is not just a problem of gaming, this is a problem of any medium really. And other than insecurity in one's own concept, large role in all this that goes hand in hand with insecurity is marketing. Because when you're making a game, when you're making a movie or whatever, you're not just making the game and the movie. You also gotta think about the merch. Circling back to Insomniac Spider-Man, obviously the game needed a design that would differentiate it from any other Spider-Man medium to sell as much merch attached to it as possible. So any dumbass kid that played the game would see the big ass ugly white spider on a backpack or something and be like, they need to have that. If you are such a dumbass kid, let me give you an advice to life. Spider-Man never wears his own merch. So to be as much as your favorite superhero, stop supporting big ass greedy corporations and start just being the best version of yourself. This is the same reason why each superhero wears so many different suits in a movie nowadays. It is to crank up the sales of the toys, but it strips us away from each suit having its soul. And on top of that, many of them just suck. Iron Spider suit, over-designed slop. The gold and black suit, it sucks. At least the one he has at the end of No Way Home is great. And I also get it, in gaming, the new generations of consoles, you sort of want to show off the power of it, of how many details you can have on the screen at the same time and still run smoothly. But man, this is not how you do it. In movies you want to show off the newest CGI technology. I think you get the point. Maybe the limitations of the past were a blessing that we had that we did not appreciate. And it's not like everything modern is automatically bad. I love some of the modern designs, like look at the Batman, the movie from 2022. This is just peak design. It ties so well into what this Batman is supposed to be. Even Kratos in God of War. And I don't even like that game. I think it's overrated as fuck. I still think he's a greatly designed character, because yet again his design ties into his personality and the themes of the story, and I think that's the whole point. Anyway, in conclusion today, design is a part of storytelling, and when you are designing a character, you should always make sure that their design ties into their personality and also fits in thematically in the story. It's not an easy task, but no one ever said that it would be easy. And any AAA game studio or any movie studio watching right now should be making notes, because I know a lot more than you. I am a genius. But anyway, thank you for watching. Leave a like and a nice comment about which character you think is well designed and which one you think is badly over designed. And hopefully I will see you next time.